Hey, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Every single week, I come to you live here from the Greatness Factory. I really want to do three things for you in the show. I want to multiply your life, I want to multiply your money, and I want to multiply your business. And I promised today, I told Jack I'm going to go longer. I'm going to give you more value. I'm going to go deeper into concepts, and I'm going to help you figure this one concept out. The anatomy of winning is the topic of today's show around a book I wrote many years ago. But at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? We want to win. We want to figure out how to play at the highest frequency. We want to drive a big goal. We want to do something legendary. So today on Super Coach, I'm breaking down the concept of the anatomy of winning, how to build life, leadership, and success into you and your organization. I'm Coach Michael Burt, and you're watching Super Coach.
Everybody needs a coach in life. Coaching businesses and entrepreneurs like you to spike an additional 40% to your bottom line. Michael Burt is a multi-championship coach, best-selling author, trainer, motivator, and all-around super coach. Now, from the Greatness Factory Studios, this is Super Coach.
Welcome back to Super Coach. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. A lot of times I spend the weekends rejuvenating, restoring, recreating. Here's a theory I have. Big-time people use the weekends to restore. Small-time people use the weekends to escape. I know because I was a small-time person for so long. From 20 to 30, guys. Work hard, play hard, nights out, weekends out, in the bars, hungover. I was a low-performance person at that point in my life. So I hope you spent this past weekend reconnecting, right? Reconnecting to who you are, reconnecting to your bigger future, reconnecting to your dreams, reconnecting to how you want to win. Like, we're coming down to June, man. It's time. Everything aside, right? Everything that you had this first part of the year, like finish the year strong. And I'll use a basketball saying as we get into this, because I promise on Super Coach, I want to unpack concepts deeper. I want to spend more time on the show really unpacking my mindset. So many people ask me about certain things. I'd be happy to do Q&A if you want to. I'll take calls today, 615-849-2099. If you want to call into the show and ask me any questions. I love playing pitch and catch with folks. So I'll type that into the bar here. So today's topic, the anatomy of winning. And I was sitting down last night thinking what I want to talk about on Super Coach, Many years ago, I wrote the book, The Anatomy of Winning. It was after I had won a championship. It was after I had shown a demonstrated capacity to take a group of all types of people that I didn't select, I didn't choose, all socioeconomic backgrounds, all types of people, and put them into my little system that we eventually called the Greatness Factory, which is the title of our where we do our coaching now. And so after I won a championship, I thought about how hard Will Webb and Michelle Burke and Chastity Davenport and Becky Stiles and Sonia Turner, how hard it was to crack the code, how hard it was to flip the switch, how hard it was to figure it out. Like, it took me 10 years. And this is a struggle I think I think so many people out there really struggle with, is how do I get to the other side? It's like, here's the first thing I would tell you. Most people believe the other side is something that's reserved for other people. Like, it's not reserved for you. Like, it's only the lucky and the strong that will ever become millionaires, do something big. Like, I was watching the story of WeWork last night because I have this concept called the Greatness Factory. And WeWork at one time, Jack, was valued at $47 billion. And they basically lease buildings and turn around and sublease those buildings, right? Now they're valued at $12 billion. The owner got crazy, buying $60 million jets and buying buildings and then leasing them back to the company that he owns. And he got a little too big for his britches. But my point was, there's nothing stopping Greatness Factories from being that big other than my own tiny thinking. Colin Carroll, Dale Childress. That's the only thing that stops us from doing big things, is our own tiny thinking, right? Like, why not build greatness factories around the world? Why not own real estate? Why do we have to play small? And for some people out there, playing small is, you're doing $1 million or you're making $1 million, but that's small. in comparison to your potential. So if you're out there today and you want to talk how to play big, the anatomy of winning, I'm taking calls. Eric White, if you will put the phone number in there, 615-849-2099. I'd be happy to take any phone calls on this concept of the anatomy of winning, because when I wrote the book, The Anatomy of Winning, how do you win at the highest levels? See, for years, I would take my team, my little team and my little thinking, and I would take them over to Murphy Center, and I would watch other teams win championships. And we went over there as like a field trip day. And after about 5 or 6 years of that, I got sick of that. I'm like, I ain't bringing my team back over here to watch other people win a championship. The next time we come back over here, we're going to be on that floor playing. And I got mad and I got frustrated. And when I got mad and frustrated, it's like me looking at people speaking on stages and going, you know what? I'm not paying $1 more to sit in the audience and watch another person up on there on that stage. I'm going to get on that stage. I'm going to remove considerations. I'm going to move hesitations that I have. I'm going to take action in my life. Right, Michelle Froge? Like I'm going to win. I'm going to find a way to win. There's nobody out there that's going to do it better than I'm going to do it. So first, Dennis Waitley used to have this saying, you go there in your mind before you go there in the body. Covey said all things are created twice, first mentally, then physically. Richest man in Babylon says every action you take is driven by your thoughts. Your thoughts are no wiser than your understandings. You got little bitty thoughts, you take little bitty actions, you get little bitty results. And I know Alan Jackson says it's all right to be little bitty. Okay, but let me tell you something. That's after he made about 50 mil. Oh, that's funny. Now, so if you're out there and you want to call in, 615-849-2099. Let's play pitch and catch with each other. We're talking today the anatomy of winning. Many years ago, I wrote the book, The Anatomy of Winning. It was a philosophy on building a championship team. But now that I look back at it almost 10 years later, there's a bigger theme there. You don't wake up to lose. Like there was a guy I was talking to the other day, said, man, I'm perfectly fine being number 4. I said, number 4? Like who the hell wakes up in the morning and says, I want to be number 4, right? Or 43 or 400. Like you want to win, man. Life's a game. It's a sport to play and to win. So this book that I wrote with Rick Insell, and I got a story to tell about Rick Insell, a really hard conversation he had with me when I wanted to win a championship that shocked me. It shocked me, Jack. He sat down and he, boom, gave it to me. And I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear what he had to say. So it's really become a philosophy on life. This book, The Anatomy of Winning, that I wrote became a philosophy on life. I go into great detail about the psychology I use to build the whole person. I believe people are made up of 4 parts. A body, a mind, a heart, and a spirit. Each of those parts produce 4 different needs, 4 different intelligences, 4 different capacities, 4 different dimensions. Just ask yourself right now, what are you missing? Is it knowledge? Is it skill? Is it desire? Is it confidence? Right? Like you can diagnose any person in the world and what's keeping you, like Michelle Froge is down in Atlanta. Look at the number 1 real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia, and say, what am I missing? What do they have that I don't have? Do they have more knowledge? Do they have more skill? Do they have more desire? Do they have more confidence? Almost 9 out of 10 times, they have no more knowledge than you do. They have no more skill than you do. They may work harder than you do, but what they really got you beat on is confidence. Justin Myers. So I'm sitting there watching this WeWork thing last night, and I'm thinking, listen, that dude ain't any smarter than I am. Right? I can take my Greatness Factory concepts, and the Greatness Factory concept is better than the WeWork concept. So it's got so many more features and so many more concepts from it. So I want to win, man. I woke up this morning and I said, man, I don't want to just dream about these things. I want to do these things. Some of you are stuck in a world of dreaming about things, but you don't do them. And here's the deal. You're going to tell somebody today, John Dalton or Don Key or Justin Myers, you're going to tell somebody, man, I got a big dream. They're going to tell you all the reasons why it won't work. They're going to say, no. The thing we need to focus on today is this one thing right here. Well, let me tell you something. Never allow another person to stand between you and your destiny. Okay? You can get on board or you can get out of the way. That's my thought process. Right? Big time people are going to make huge gambles and huge bets, and guess what? They're going to lose a lot. But they're willing to make a decision. The word decide means to kill off something. So when you have a big dream, You got a double vision. You got one vision that says, I'm going to go. You got one vision that says, like, no, I can't do it. And all the people around you are telling you that you can't do it. They're telling you play small, dominate your backyard, right? They don't say dominate the whole yard. So when I started to build this championship culture, it took me 10 years, man. And I can't tell you how many people said, you're never going to win a championship. This is a football school. Susie Vargas, they said, you'll never do it. I got laughed out of places. People made fun of me. People tried to practice in the gym when we were practicing. But in my mind, my philosophy was simple. I'm never going to allow another person to stand between me and my destiny. I'm going to take this place all the freaking way. And this is a decision each one of you have to make. Other people can't make it for you. Your wife can't make it for you. Your husband can't make it for you. Your parents can't make it for you. Your kids can't make it for you. You got to make this decision. Now, could it take 10 years? Absolutely. We live in a world today where everybody wants a quick fix. They want to make $1 fast. They want to become instant millionaires. They want to build something spectacular. And I hate to tell you, folks, that ain't how it works. Let me let you in on a little secret. Long obedience in the same direction. This is what makes people great. Michaela Faith. It's a killer name, Michaela Faith. Now, when you think about this, long obedience in the same direction, working the muscle, building the machine, going all the way, right? So what we're going to do, I'm going to come back in just a minute. I'm going to give you the 10 things that I did to build a championship program. When I wrote the book, The Anatomy of Winning, I'm going to come back and I'm going to break each one down because I'm at a point in my life, I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of doing local things. I'm tired of doing things that don't matter. I want to go for the gold, man. I put the work in. I've had the long obedience in the same direction. I've worked the muscle long enough. Now it's just a matter of the guts to make a decision, which means to kill off. You're watching Super Coach. I'm Coach Michael Burt. We come back in segment 2. I'm going to break down the 10 things I did to build a championship culture that you can start doing right now in your life and in your business. Hey, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Just text Coach Burt to this number or that number to get weekly updates, where I'm going to be coaching, and strategies for you to play at a much higher frequency. Welcome back, Super Coach. No callers, huh? Come on, guys. Man and woman up. Call in to Super Coach today, 615-849-2099. Okay, call in and let's play pitch and catch, guys. Call in and let's play pitch and catch on this concept of the anatomy of winning. This is a book I wrote 10 years ago. Man, I've written so many books, I forgot about some of the books I wrote, Jack. I'd be like, dang, that was a good book. I forgot about that one. Wrote that one 10 years ago. Now, here's what we're talking today, guys. When you wake up in the morning, life should be a sport. It should be a game. There should be a competition. There should be winners and losers. Right? There should be something you work toward that forces you to want to get better. If you're stuck, static, bored, complacent, in a rut, you're doing the wrong thing, man. If like I enjoy what I do every day. There's no way I could have this passion and energy I do if I didn't enjoy it. There's parts of it I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy whining. I don't enjoy complaining. I don't enjoy people that won't put the work in and then complain about something. But I enjoy the distribution of talent to the world and the reward back from the people and appreciation, referrals. People get in the coaching program. We just had a guy today, my insurance guy, Will Webb. He's been in the program for a couple years, said he's up 99%. 99%. Jack, does these things work? Which one is the big one? Do you remember? Okay, I've got something I want to play here. Because Will Webb is up 99%. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. There we go. Little cheer right there for Will Webb. Congratulations, big guy. Up 99% in his business. I love that. So what's Will doing? He's winning, man. He ain't losing. He ain't losing, guys. He's winning. You'll win, too, if you let me be your coach. I'm telling you. So I told you I was going to give you the 10 things that helped me to build a championship program, helped me to build a championship culture at Riverdale. And I'm using the same things in my business, right? This book talks about, I go into detail about how to win at the highest levels. It's called The Anatomy of Winning. Ain't they called The Anatomy of Losing? We don't call it the complacency factory. Hey, come on down to the complacency factory. We're going to give you 1 minute of coaching, right? Maybe 10 minutes of coaching, a good Budweiser. Send you out there on your way. Although some of you may like coaching better if we gave you a Budweiser and 10 minutes of coaching. Now, here's my point. Question that I'm challenging you guys with today, Julie Young, and all the people that are watching the show live, all the Monster Producer, the Monster Nations, how big is your think? Right? How big is your think? How big is your goals? How much do you want to win? What does winning mean to you? Winning doesn't have to mean money. Winning can mean number of people helped on planet Earth. Winning can be taking an idea and seeing it through to its conclusion. Winning can be distributing your talents to the world at the highest levels. That is winning, in my opinion. Winning is how you define it. Let me tell you how winning is to me. Number one, you need a dominant aspiration. In the sports world, this is easy. In the sports world, this is easy. A dominant aspiration is a single, tangible outcome you would like to drive in a 12-month cycle is measured in 30-day windows. In the sports world, it's easy. It's a championship. Most people have no idea where they're going. Where are you this month on your numbers? What day is it? How much more do you have to go? Like to really win, you got to have a target. And in the business world, the target could be a revenue number. I like a revenue number better than a profit number, although I like having a revenue number and a profit number. Okay, I think our business is operating at about a 38% profit margin right now. Okay, a lot of that contributed to Chelsea Culbreth, who's doing a great job with that. We're trying to drive top-line revenue, and we're trying to drive profitability. Okay, I've got buddies that are operating businesses that are running at 80% profitability. I know people we're coaching and running at 10% profitability. It's all in how big and how much scale that you're going to have. So number one, you need a dominant focus. And the dominant focus is a single tangible outcome you would like to drive in a 12-month cycle as measured in 30-day windows. Sports world, it's a championship ring, Jack. It's a championship ring. In the business world, if you hit your number, buy yourself a championship ring. Do something big. Play at a higher frequency, right? Number two, you need singleness of purpose. You need singleness of purpose. When I was building this championship program at Riverdale, it took me 10 years. Man, I didn't think about nothing else. The only thing I thought about was how do we win? And here was my decision-making capacity. Is it going to help us win a championship or not win a championship? And if it's not going to help us win a championship, guess what, folks? We're not doing it. In the business world, is it going to help us hit our number, Kyle Hendricks, or is it not going to help us hit our number? I'm interviewing Dave Meltzer this afternoon. Dave Meltzer, they made the movie Jerry Maguire about him, I think. And he built up this storehouse, and he was worth like $100 million, and he lost all of it. And so he went through this period of meditation and getting clear on his life. And now he measures everything between activity and busyness. Activity is something producing something. Busyness is just messing around. So for you, you need a singleness of purpose. And this is where we get into trouble, especially if you have a personality style like mine where you're interested in so many things. It's hard to have a singleness of focus when you're interested in 12 different things. So right now I'm doing three things. Monster Producer, coaching program, $1 Million Coaching Summit, which is in July, and we're building out this Turn Your Managers into Coaches platform. 3 things, and that's it. If it don't fit in those 3 things, I'm probably not going to do it. Number 3, you need to write team members. In the month of July, if you're out there watching this and you want to sit in on Monster Producer or you've thought about being in my coaching program, I'm going back live. That means in the room with real people in June. And I'm going to be teaching about how do you get your team on the same page. And damn, this is hard. If you don't think it's hard getting a group of people on the same page, you have lost your freaking mind. It is one of the hardest things in the world I have ever done in my life to try to get 5 people on the same page, wanting the same things, toward the same focus, right? Like that's what we're going to be covering this next month. Like, how do you get the right team members? Of how to hire, of how to build world-class teams, of how to align yourself with other people that believe the same things you do, of how to work with different personality styles. Like, that's one reason I got certified in the DISC, David Latham and Richard Pearl and Jennifer, because all problems that we have on teams come from human nature. They come from a variance of personality. And when you understand another person's personality, you can understand why do they blow up when they get frustrated. And it doesn't have to affect you. See, this is a big mistake that I made for so many years, is I would give my mood and disposition, Richard Johnson, up to somebody else. Oh, they always blow up when this happens, and then it would affect me. Then I'd be worried about them. Listen, I made a decision. I heard one of the best things over the weekend when I was studying human nature from Robert Greene. And he's a guy that I may pay to coach me. 48 Laws of Power, Laws of Human Nature. You know another person has you when you constantly sit around, Jack, and worry about them. You replay it. You think about them. You got to walk on eggshells around them. You know they got you tied up emotionally when everything you do is geared toward how they will respond to you. And I just made a decision this weekend, man, I ain't letting people do that to me. I'm going to do what I want to do with my life. I'm going to play at the level I want to play it, and ain't nobody going to stand between me and my destiny. Hit the like button if you like that, right? If you don't want anybody to stand between you and your destiny, hit the like button, or hit the smiley button, or give me an angry face. Give me something. Give me something out there, guys. Now, so I said number one, you got a dominant focus. You got a singleness of purpose. You got to have the right team members. Okay? You need to use sport and business as a vehicle for life, meaning there is no losing, there's only learning. You don't lose. Big-time people take risk. Big-time people they try things. Big-time people have a term called negative capability. Negative capability is where they can actually focus on multiple things at one time. They can have multiple ideas rumbling around in their mind. Most big-time people started down this path. Look at the guys that started Twitter. They started down this path. Look at the guys that started YouTube. They started down this path. Most people started down this path only to discover this is what we need to be doing. You need to be open to anything, closed off to nothing. There's things that I bring to the market that don't work. There's things I bring to the market that do work. But you need to be open and inviting to things. You don't need to shut it down as soon as you have an idea. When you think it, you need to do it sometimes. Okay? Second thing is you need high levels of prey drive. If you're going to do something big in the world and build a championship culture around this anatomy of winning, you got to have high degrees of prey drive. Okay? Prey drive. Instinctual, primal ability like a dog to see it and go get it. Kill it and bring it home. You got to be able to bounce back when people tell you no. You got to fight through adversity. So you got to decide what activates the prey drive in you. Is it competition? Is it fear of loss? Is it exposure to something bigger? Is it a hurt feeling that converts to an action? Like, what is it that activates the drive in you to say, I'm tired of living an average life. I'm tired of living a mediocre life. I'm tired of freaking barely getting by. What I'm ready to do is go play at a higher frequency. That's what you got to make up your mind. Okay? Here's another thing. You need grace for each other. One thing I love about my daughter, Ella Grace, I picked up a book this weekend, Jack, called How to Have a New Kid by Friday. And it's a book by a psychologist that teaches you how to deal with children. And I strongly recommend it. If you've never read it, you need to read it. I don't care what kind of personalities your kids got. How to Have a New Kid by Friday. And what I love about my daughter, Ella Grace, is she can get mad. We can have a fight. We can have an argument. And literally 10 minutes later, she can walk right up to me and give me a hug and say, I love you, Daddy. Adults can't do that. Adults get mad and get pissed off and stay mad for 3 weeks and won't talk to each other and won't look at each other and get passive aggressive, act all crazy toward each other, throw each other under the bus. But my daughter can get in trouble and come back 10 minutes later and give me the biggest hug and say, Daddy, I love you. Isn't that awesome? That's Grace, man. That's her middle name, Ella Grace. Now, my point is, you need to have grace for each other. Have the knockdown, drag out. State your opinion hard. Fight through some of the things you want. But when you walk out of that room, walk out of there on the same page. Extend that grace toward each other. Because let me tell you something. We taught all of our players the 5 dysfunctions of teams. And one of the things I would tell you is one of the dysfunctions is status and ego. Status and ego is where you place your ego above everybody else. You believe you are bigger than the team. You are bigger than the unit. You believe that you're more important than everybody else. Let me tell you what this builds, guys. It builds resentment. If you don't think other people resent you, listen, from 20 to 30, I had this dysfunction. I had status and ego. I was winning. Thought I was better than everybody else. I didn't come to the faculty meetings. I didn't show up. I didn't care if anybody else won or not won. And let me tell you something. It was a huge regret that I have. I had such a bad attitude. Attitude is a disposition that is manifested in a posture, in an external posture. Attitude, right? If you got a bad attitude, man, you make it so hard on yourself when you have a bad attitude. People with bad attitudes have hard lives, especially toward authority. An authority is not just somebody in your a senior. Authority is people of interest. Like you have a bad attitude toward people who can help you, towards your boss, towards your parents, towards influencers. Like I'm telling you, man. So when you think about this, Jack, I'm going to give him one more break. I'm going to break this up one more time. Okay, you need grace. Okay, I'm going to come back and give you 7 through 10 things I did to build a championship culture. If you're watching it out there, you will have a new kid by Friday, won't you? I will literally have a new kid by Friday because Natalie's having a baby on Thursday. So you guys come on back in the final segment. I'm going to give you the final 4 pieces, how to build the anatomy of winning into your life, leadership, and organization. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching Super Coach. I got one more segment. Come on back. Hi, I'm Coach Michael Burt. To get a free copy of my book, Inside the Mind of a Monster, text 678-506-7543. Text to get a copy of my book, Inside the Mind of a Monster, and I'm going to turn you into a legendary creature. Welcome back to Super Coach. I promised you I would give you some more meat and potatoes, Chad Applin, and I don't want to let you down, big guy. So I promised on the Super Coach, I'm about to release some new podcasts, by the way. One called Flip the Switch, which is about the moment, boom. It's around a new book that I'm writing on how to activate the prey drive. So Flip the Switch is going to be under the Super Coach umbrella. I'm also going to do the $1 Million Coach, which is a podcast about how you build a $1 million coaching company. These are tied to certain things we're doing. And since I'm on that, if you have a desire to speak and coach and train and lead and write books, I want you to check out right now my $1 Million Coaching Summit, July 9th through the 11th at the Lodge in Tennessee. I can show you how to monetize a message at a very high level. I can show you how to sell your message. I can show you how to write all these books behind me. I can show you how to get publishing deals. I can show you who you need to know. I can show you how to get on stages. I can show you how to do all of that. $1 Million Coaching Summit. Go to CoachBurt.com, click on events. 9 through 11, you need to be there. If you got a desire to write a book, we can help you write that book through our publishing division. So reach out to me at coach@coachburt.com if you got any questions or you're interested in any of these things. I'm going to finish up today's show on the anatomy of winning with a few more things. I told you there were 10 things that I did to build a championship culture. I used those 10 years as research and development. And the research and development is me studying the psychology of activation of prey drive in people, me studying how to deal with human nature, me studying how to build championship cultures, me learning what works and what don't work. I had 30 little guinea pigs every year, and I tried different tactics and different strategies. So then I write a book after I won a championship called The Anatomy of Winning, right? How to build life, leadership, and success into your organization. Today I'm talking about kind of some of those steps in that book. Number 7, you need leaders within the team. One of the best things that I did as a championship coach is I believed in internal policing. Like, I don't think everything should be top down. I think you need team members that hold each other accountable. Dr. Elko talks about these pods of accountability. You don't need all the discipline to come from the top. You need team members who are on board, believe in you, right? Fighting for each other, holding each other accountable. Like, there needs to be an accountability structure, okay? And accountable to what? Accountable to our sales calls, accountable to our goals, accountable to our system, Owen Schrock, accountable to working the system like it's supposed to be worked. You need accountability. We all need accountability. Left to our own devices, we contract and retreat. And I can say that because of the number of people I coach in the world. Most people take the path of least resistance. Most people move to the easiest way to go. Most people will, if you leave them with no accountability, no coach, no structure, no anything, they will always They will always move to a place of comfort and complacency. What's up, Tommy Holt? This is me in 28 years of me studying human nature. This is me coaching thousands of people. I'm telling you, even me without accountability can contract to a place of comfort. Even as driven and focused as I want to be, when life gives it to you and says, hey, man, it's much easier to go this way, I'll go that way, which is why I need a person pushing me and challenging me, activation of my prey drive, right? So you need leaders within the team, not just one leader at the top. You need high levels of bounce back. Bounce back is the ability to have adversity, which is an unwanted outcome. It's a departure away from the ideal scene, okay? It's a departure away from the ideal scene. What we found during this COVID period is that some people, when they have adversity, they don't have a bounce back, right? They're not Navy SEALs, they're baby SEALs. And when you think about it, what I'm looking for is top line stud and studettes, man. They come with batteries included. Where there's a will, there's a freaking way. That's what they say. Terry Davis, that's what they say, like I'm in, okay? There's no whining, there's no complaining, there's no excuses. We go to bed tired, we wake up hungry. It all goes to zero at midnight. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. Those are Navy SEALs, okay? You need high levels of bounce back. And two more, you need to play around bigger and better competition. This is what I want to call the Rick Insell conversation. And if you notice this book, I wrote it with championship coach Rick Insell. He's the winningest coach, winningest women's basketball coach at Middle Tennessee State University, won 10 championships. Zach Raines before he went to Middle Tennessee. And every year I would coach my team and I'd get to the same level and I'd get beat. I'd get to the same place. I'd play the same person. I'd get beat and I'd go home and I'd get mad about it. And I'd do what most people do, which is blame everybody else. It's my coach's fault. It's my team's fault. It's my assistant's fault. It ain't never my fault. And 6 years of this goes by, and I become humble and coachable. And I called 6 different coaches, and I said, man, I'm not doing something right. Please tell me what I'm doing. I took Rick Insell to Demas's Steakhouse. And we sat down, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He sat down and he said, look, Michael, this is your meeting. Now ask the questions. That's how we started the meeting. Wasn't any small talk. He's like, look, this is your meeting. You call me. Now you ask me the question. I say, Coach, I'd like to win a championship. He said, no, you don't. He said, you don't want to win a championship. He said, you're more interested in winning games than winning championships. And I'm sitting there like, dang, this steak dinner ain't going the way I thought it was going to go. It's the best thing I could ever hear. Here's what he said. Your schedule's too weak. You play pitiful teams. You beat those teams. You run around, strut around like you're somebody. He said, you're not playing competition. Your competition is not strong enough. Therefore, when you get in big games, your players are not battle tested. I talk about in this book how to battle test your teams. And he said when you get in big games, you fold, you quit, you shut down, you give up. Your players don't know how to fight through. So here, if you're serious about winning championships, you need to play the best teams in Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Kentucky. Go out to the West Coast and play the best teams. Go up to the East Coast. Get serious about playing better people. And you're going to get beat by some of those people. But you're going to come back and you're going to know how to win. And I'd be dang if he wasn't right. As my buddy Tim Story says, dadgummit, he was right. I went back and I scheduled the best teams, and we did get beat by some of those teams. But guess what we did the next year? We won a championship, 38-3. See, some of you are big fish in little ponds. Feels good, doesn't it? Feels good to strut around in that little pond because you're somebody. You're the local real estate agent that wins, or you're the biggest mortgage originator in your company, or you're the biggest whatever. Feels good to be number one in your company. You should be measuring yourself versus who is number one in the state of Tennessee. Who's number one in the Southeast? Who's number one in the whole United States of America? And who's number one on planet Earth? That's who you should be measuring yourself. People tell you don't measure up, don't compare up. Bull. You ought to be comparing up every day. What does that dude have that I don't have? What does she have that I don't have? Every day you should be looking up to somebody. Many of you get advice from people who have never done what you've even done. If you want to make $1 million, don't go to a person that makes $100,000 and ask them what you should do. So for you, This is a big concept. You got to get around better people. Okay? You got to reach up. And finally, my last point of the 10 points of building a championship culture is you need something bigger in front of you, and you need creative exposure. What I mean by this is you need big games to win, big things to look forward to. I get bored easy. And I tell my team, I got to be involved in something bigger. I got to be doing something bigger. I got to be building something. I got to be creating something. I got to be producing something. I don't want to continue playing small. I don't want to be local. I don't want to be famous in my hometown, right? I need a big game to play. If not, I get bored. I need a big game. So the challenge for you, you may be the same way. The challenge for you is if you're serious about winning in the business world, here's some things you're going to need. You're going to need a coach. You're going to need a system. You're going to need accountability. You're going to need a game to win, right? You're going to need to get around bigger players because that is an activator of prey drive. Okay? Now, great show today. This is a rundown, a copy of a book I wrote called The Anatomy of Winning. You can pick up a copy of my book, Everybody Needs a Coach in Life. I think it's free at my website right now. Okay? Pick up a copy. You pay for the shipping. I pay for the book. Get it, and it'll help you guys. I want to encourage you. I'm doing a boot camp in a few weeks. If you're locked up, complacent, bored, stuck in a rut, June 18 and 19, you need to come to that boot camp. Get in a room with me for 2 days. There ain't no way. I'm so excited about being in a room with people I can't even see straight. I'm doing a big event for Farm Bureau next week, next Tuesday, with their 11 regional managers. So I'm excited about getting people in a room. June 18 and 19, just come. If you're not in the coaching program, come to the boot camp. Spend 2 days with me. If you want a speaker coach, come in July. Spend 2 days with me, 2.5 days, right? I've got a boot camp for the 20 to 30-year-old. If you got a young whippersnapper out there that you think's got a lot of potential, I'm doing a boot camp just for that group called Flip the Switch. 3 days with me at the lodge with your 20 to 30-year-old, helping them flip that freaking switch. So if you're out there watching the show today and you know you need a coach, email me, coach@coachburt.com. We'll get you to the appropriate person. We'll talk about your life. We'll talk about your business. Guys, I spent 28 years of my life learning how to win. Win financially now, win emotionally, win spiritually, win physically, right? We can help you perform at a higher level. That's what a good coach does. So hope you have a great day. We believe everybody needs a coach. Coach@coachburt.com, or go to coachburt.com and check out some of the boot camps that we're doing. I would love to be your coach and help you play at a higher frequency. Let's have a great week.
I came out to Coach Burt's boot camp because it's about growth. It's about growing yourself. Even though I'm a coach to few people, the coach needs a coach.
I really enjoyed the boot camp. I've been a part of Monster Producers for about 6 months now. Definitely increased my income, learned a lot. I recommend it to everybody.
I think everyone needs a coach in their life, and Coach Burt has definitely activated my prey drive. We believe that Coach Burt is an amazing influence into your life. Everyone needs to have a coach in their life, guys.
Since the time I started with Coach Burt, my practice is up on average about 67% a year. The last year was just over 99% as I finally took the time to fully implement everything. And so anybody that is really looking to get a boost, or maybe feel like you've started to plateau in some way but want that little extra boost of energy, or prey drive as Coach calls it, it's a great opportunity to either get down here in Tennessee in the lodge and spend some time with him, or hop on the coaching program and do it remotely like I do, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see the same increase we all are.